Good afternoon, dear students. Can you hear me? If I'm audible to you loud and clear, dear students, please text me yes if you think I'm loud enough. Can you hear me? Please confirm me with the text quickly so that I can begin today's lesson. Okay, thank you, Tanvi. Thank you so much. So, dear students, stay connected with me because towards the end, I shall send your attendance link in the chat box itself. Okay, so thank you, Vinit. So, please stay connected till the end because towards the end, I am going to send you the attendance link for today in the chat box itself, right? So, please do stay connected. Okay, now let's going to start this lesson. So, dear students, today we are going to learn My Mother at 66 by Kamala Das. So, what does this poem mean? Let us go through the introduction part first. As you can see here, the poem drives home the fact that aging is a natural process and we have no sway over it. Okay, so this poem tells us that aging is a natural process and we have no sway. Sway means control. We do not have any control over the process of aging. Like aging, death is also inevitable. So, as aging is a natural phenomena, the natural process, likewise, death in our life is also inevitable. That is, it is a must in the lives of each and every one of us. Okay, therefore, the poet says that we cannot avoid being old, we cannot avoid being sick, we cannot avoid being dead. Like we should come to terms with this hardcore fact of life. We need to come to terms with this hardcore fact of life that human beings are mortal in nature, and with age, what happens? Everyone becomes old, and this aging process is a natural process. If we understand this from the core of our heart, if we come to terms with the reality of this fact, then we shall not have any pain in our heart. Otherwise, we shall have pain. Like if someone is dead, we feel so sad. But if we can understand, if we sort of understand the core fact of the hardcore fact of life that death is also inevitable, like the process of aging, in that case, our sadness or our grief over the death of somebody can be minimized. Okay, we are human beings, we have emotions, we have passion, so we cannot completely check it, but to a great extent we can reduce our pain and suffering if we understand the hardcore reality of life that the process of aging as well as death is inevitable to each and every one's life. If we fail to negotiate with this universal process of aging and mortality, we shall end up being in despair, right? So the poet wants to say that if we fail to negotiate with this universal process of aging and mortality, mortality means the fact that every human being will die. Okay, that is mortality. So if we fail to negotiate or come to terms with the natural process of aging and mortality, then we shall end up being sad. We shall end up being sad. Okay, that therefore it is better for us to negotiate ourselves to come to terms with the fact that so pain, suffering, aging, death is quite natural in the human life. So we need to, whenever it comes, we need to embrace it very gracefully. Okay, only when we understand this hardcore fact of life, we become our suffering becomes reduced. Okay, the writer in this poem is so obsessed with her mother that she has become totally blind to the fact of inevitability of aging and death. Okay, she is so much emotionally possessed. The writer in this poem is so much emotionally, you can say, emotional, so very much emotionally, overpowered that she cannot accept that fact that her mother can die. Her mother can die. Okay, and her mother can get such old. She cannot accept this fact because she is not able to come to terms with the inevitable fact of aging and mortality. That is the reason as to why she is feeling absolutely sad. So the writer is saying that we need to come to terms with this universal fact, inevitable fact that every human being has to die one day, every human being has to age one day. So this is something which we must realize and we must come to terms with. Okay, then we shall not be so much possessed with emotion, we shall not be over possessed with emotion, passion. Okay, we shall not be so much, you can say, obsessed with our relationship. Okay, because if we become so much emotionally involved in our relationship with our family members, with our friends, then if anything wrong happens to our friend or family member, it is very difficult for us to overcome the grief, because we from very beginning we have so much of emotional attachment. So attachment for human beings is not very it's not recommended actually. Okay? Why not recommended? Because it causes damage to our emotional health, our mental well-being. Okay, that is why even the religions like Buddhism, Jainism, Hinduism, they all preach this particular fact that we should be dispossessed or we should be detached from the society, from human beings. Okay, we should be with them, but we should remain emotionally detached from them. Okay, if we remain emotionally detached with people, then we shall be able to overcome the grief that is caused to us after their death, right? So due to her possessiveness for her mother since her childhood, she developed subdued fear and consequent pain in her mind that one day she would have to part with her mom. Okay, so as she was so much obsessed with her mom, that is why since childhood she has developed kind of a subdued fear in her mind. Okay, that one day she has to part with her mom. Like a woman in the poem Mirror, the poet is unable to digest the fact of aging and death, therefore she is in conflict with herself. Why is the poet in conflict with herself? Because she is unable to digest the fact that aging is a natural process, death is a natural process. Therefore, she is in conflict with herself. So, from a personal pain and agony, the poem transcends into universal problem of pain and the separation from our beloved ones. It's a personal pain, but this pain is universal in nature also, because a lot of people are there, like the poetess in this poem, who are equally obsessed with their near and dear ones, who are very much emotionally attached with their near and dear ones, which according to the poet is not good enough. Okay, which is not at all good enough for the mental health of an individual. This inevitable pain at separation is fairly universal in nature, hence justified at all layers of human relationship. Hence, it is justified at all layers of human relationship. So, hopefully, dear students, you are able to understand this. So, okay, not a matter. May you stay connected. So, have you understood the concept that I have just taught you about this poem? If you understood the theme that I have just discussed, kindly text yes, or you want me to repeat what I have just spoken. If it's okay, then I should continue with the explanation of the poem. So kindly do text me quickly so that I can continue with the poem. So I hope you have understood what I have already spoken about. Okay, it is about the theme of the poem. I spoke about the theme of the poem. Okay, the universal theme. Okay, thank you, Tanvi, Uday, Manshi, and Alma. Thank you so much. Now let me go ahead with the explanation. Okay, thank you. See, dear students, the poem is not this one. The poem is this one. Not this one. This one. Okay. So you see, this is the poem. See, aging is a natural process. Have you ever thought what our elderly parents expect from us? Driving from my parents' home to Cochin last Friday morning, I saw my mother beside me, dozed, open mouthed, her face ashen like that of a corpse, and realized with pain that she was as old as she looked, but soon put that thought away and looked out at young trees sprinting, the married children spilling out of their homes, but after the airport security check, standing a few years away, I looked again at her, one pale as a late winter's moon, and felt that old familiar ache, my childhood's fear. But all I said was, "See you soon, Amma," and all I did was smile and smile and smile. Okay, so dear students, let's understand the poem. Driving from my parents' home to Cochin, it means the poetess was driving from his parental house to Cochin airport on a particular Friday, right? On a particular Friday, the writer was driving from his home to Cochin airport. While driving from his parents' home, from her parents' home to Cochin, the writer saw her mom beside her. Okay, in the vehicle, her mother was there beside her. So, what was her mother like? What did she look like? She was dozed, open-mouthed. Doze means she was half asleep. Okay, she was half asleep, and open mouthed means she might be as she is taking a nap. So her mouth has opened, her face has opened, her face ashen like. Her face ashen means pale. Her face is pale like that of a corpse. Corpse means dead body of a person is called corpse, right? The dead body of a person is called corpse. So her mom is as pale as the dead body of a person, okay, or a dead person, and realized with pain. Then she could realize, the poetess could realize with lot of pain that she was as old as she looked, but soon put that thought away. Okay, so when her mom was found to be half asleep with her mouth open and her face appeared to be as pale as a dead person, then the poetess could realize that her mom has become very old, as old as she looked. Okay, her age, she has become aged and she has become very old, and but this particular thought has given her pain because the poetess is very much obsessed with her mom. Therefore, she tried to desperately put that thought away, put that thought, which thought? Put the thought that her mom has become aged, she has become very old. This particular thought has given rise to pain in her mind. That is why she has put that thought away for some time and look out at young trees sprinting. Okay, and then she wanted to divert herself from the thought of her mother. Therefore, she tried to divert herself by looking at the scenery outside. Young trees were visible, young trees sprinting, because when the vehicle moves, the trees from inside the vehicle appear to be also moving. So that is why sprinting is mentioned here. The young trees were sprinting, the merry children, merry means cheerful, cheerful children spilled out of their homes. They rushed out of their homes. The cheerful children rushed out of their homes. But okay, so now, dear students, you have to understand this. Now there is a shift actually, shift of sort of a shift in the thought of the poet. Like while the poetess was inside the vehicle, she appeared to be very sad because she could catch a glimpse of her mother who was half asleep, and her face appeared to be as pale as the face of a dead body, but she wanted to divert her attention from the thought of her mother. Therefore, she looked at the sight which was visible outside the vehicle. So, from outside the vehicle. So, from inside the vehicle, she was busy in sightseeing outside the vehicle, and this is how she could divert her thought actually. Okay, so when she could divert her thought, what she came up with, she could see that there were some trees which appear to be moving. Okay, actually the trees are not moving, but from inside the vehicle, when the vehicle moves, when the train moves, we can see from inside the train or vehicle that the trees outside are also moving with the vehicle. So you could see that the young trees were moving, the cheerful children, they rushed out of their homes to play in the field. So you can see here there is a contrast here. What is the contrast? The contrast inside the vehicle, the contrast is the situation which is inside the vehicle as well as the situation which is outside the vehicle. You can compare this, you can contrast these two situations. The first situation which is inside the vehicle is very very tense, very very sad, very very disappointing, whereas the scene outside the vehicle is very fresh, very refreshing and very much entertaining because the children are very cheerful. So the image of the young trees, the image of the young trees as well as the young children coming out of their home to play in the play field, that represents the shift in the contrast in the shift of mood actually, right? So the with the help of the two images like young trees as well as the merry children, that is cheerful children, the poet has shown a contrast in the situation outside the vehicle, right? Inside the vehicle is totally pale, sad, disappointing, whereas the situation outside the vehicle is absolutely calm and cheerful and entertaining, right? So that is why the poet has made use of two imagery in this point here, at this particular point here. One is young trees, another is merry children. They are the images of cheerfulness and entertainment, something which is refreshing, okay, and something which is happy and cheerful, right? So you have to take a note here, okay, because in order to show the contrast in mood of the two situation which is inside the vehicle as well as outside the vehicle, the poet has made reference of the two imagery which are young trees as well as merry children. Please do understand these two images which are very important to show the contrast of mood here actually, okay. So here let me read out the glossary for you. Her face ashen like that of a corpse means the face of her mother is pale and dull like that of a corpse. Young trees sprinting means when the vehicle is moving, the young trees appear to be racing behind. So that is why it is sprinting here, okay. They appear to be racing behind. The merry children spilling out of their homes means merry here means cheerful, spilling means rushing out. So cheerful children are rushing out of their homes to participate in their games. Okay. Now let's go back to the poem. Let's go back to the poem once again. Okay. So dear students, no need to write down the notes on your textbook right now. Afterwards from my website you can write down with pencil on your textbook. Okay. The notes that are available on my website. Now just listen to the explanation part. Okay. So, dear students, where are you? I think you are here. Okay. Okay. So, Harshit, Nidhi, Swati, Gori, Rishu, do you have any doubt till this point, or I should go ahead with the explanation? If you have any doubt, you can ask me at this point. I'll clarify your doubt and then I'll move ahead. Or else, if you don't have any doubt, I can straight away proceed with my explanation. Well, I'm continuing with my explanation, dear students. Yes, thank you, Pravash. Now let me go ahead. Okay. Now you can see, but after the airport security, okay, now they have reached the airport, Cochin airport. Now, after the airport security check, standing a few years away, I looked again at her, one pale as a late winter's moon. I looked again at her. Again, after the airport security check is over, the poetess was separated from her mom because the poetess went to give farewell to her mom to see her off at the airport. Therefore, she won't be allowed to be with her mom after the security check at airport. Therefore, after the airport security check, the poetess has become separated from her mom, and at this point, from distance, when the poetess was looking at her mom, again she became disappointed. Why? Because her mom's face was looking very very pale, and one is given, you can see here the meaning of one is colorless and pale, and her mom's face appeared to be as pale and colorless as the late winter's moon. It's a simile, dear students. It's a figure of speech which is simile here. Here the poetess mother's face, pale face, colorless face, has been compared to the structure of late winter's moon. Okay, the way the late winter's moon appears on the sky, the way the late winter's moon looks like, the poetess mother also looks the same. So it's a comparison made with as. That is why it's a simile, right? Okay, and after looking at her mom from distance, what kind of thought came to her mind? The kind of thought that came to her mind was a familiar ache, familiar pain. What is the familiar pain? That is her childhood fear. What is her childhood fear? Her childhood fear was that she would one day get separated from her mom. As she was emotionally very much attached to her mom, she cannot digest the fact that her mom has become old and her mom is going to die very soon. So the very thought of separation from her mom makes her absolutely sad and disappointed. So that is what surfaces in her mind. Okay, her childhood fear, her familiar ache here refers to the pain that comes to her mind when she recollects that she has to one day part with her mom from this in this world, because her mom has grown absolutely old and she is going to die soon. So that particular familiar ache, that particular childhood fear is something which always torments her, which always troubles the poetess. But all I said was see you soon. But somehow she managed to divert her attention from her childhood fear, from her familiar ache, by staying connected with her mom and telling her that please, Amma, see you again. Okay, she said, Amma, see you again. All I did was smile and smile and smile. So all that the poetess could do was she just smiled. She showed that she was smiling at her mom, but in reality, inside she was feeling a lot of pain. So she could not show it to her mom. That is why she just smiled and smiled and smiled and waved at her mom, waved her hand at her mom. Okay, and said that she would soon see her. But in reality, actually, she was feeling absolutely shattered because she is again going to be separated from her mom, and the very familiar pain, the very childhood fear that she will be one day separated from her mother has overpowered her mind. That is why she has become very much sad. But towards the end, cannot show her sadness to her mom, because otherwise her mom would also feel equally sad. That is why somehow she managed to maintain the smile on her face and just told her mom that both of them would meet shortly. Right now, dear students, let us go through some of the vocabulary, the phrases here. As a late winter's moon, as I explained you, here the poet means to say that her mother's colorless face appears like that of a late winter's moon. Okay, the appearance of her mom looked like that of a pale and colorless moon, which is visible in winter, late winter. Then that old familiar ache means the old familiar ache here refers to the poet's childhood fear that her mom would die one day. Okay, the fact that human beings are mortal and aging is a natural process is something that she could not digest. So we've got to come to terms with the reality that aging is a natural process. Only then our pain of separation will be reduced, or else will be so much overpowered with grief and sadness that we cannot excuse ourselves, and the kind of suffering that is there inside us will be with us, right? So dear students, that's all about the lesson today. I've come. You please write down these NCERT questions and answers, which are there on my website, as you can see right in front of your screen. So please do. Tomorrow being Saturday, I'm not going to take your class. I've got some other work to do. So what you do is you please write down tomorrow's English class. You please write down the NCERT notes from the website. The last lesson, if you haven't completed tomorrow, as well as this lesson NCERT solution, you please write down on your English notebook tomorrow, right? Tomorrow at this time, you please write down write down the NCERT solution. And now I am just posting the attendance link there on your website. Please, on your chat box. So please do fill the attendance. Okay, this is the attendance sheet for today. Um, Attendance sheet for today. Okay, so please give your attendance now. And now you select your name and submit the form so that I get to know about your attendance today. And after the English class gets over, I shall give you hardly 5 minutes time, that is till 13:05, that is till 1:05. Your attendance will be counted. So be quick and give your attendance, right? You just click on the chat box now only, before I disconnect. Now only click on the chat box and select your name, submit the form and register your attendance. Your attendance will be counted till 1:05, right? Thank you so much. Bye bye. And I shall meet you once again. I shall come live once again on Monday. Okay, till then, bye bye. Have a nice day. And please do complete my NCERT solution task that I have given you from the website, right? Okay, please do your give your attendance now only. Okay, please do that before you sign out. Please do the record your register your attendance now. Okay, thank you, Harshit, Prabhash, and the rest of you, please do give your attendance and then sign out.